Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop's bonus stream. That's right, it's Tuesday. It's time to do something that's not model kit building. We'll get into that in just a moment. But first things first, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, you have my permission. You didn't even need it. You can just lurk. You don't have to say anything. You can just hang out. It's totally okay. It's a Tuesday, as I said, and I'm not building a model kit or a Lego set. On Tuesday, I do something different from that. It's often video games. Hello, Aristofan. Happy to have you here. Throwing in that blue emote. Love to see that. Often, as I said, often on Tuesdays, I play video games. We're doing that tonight. And then some weeks, I do something that's not that. Like next week, I'm going to do my long-ass anime stream where I talk about the season that's wrapping up, the season that's to come, the wrap-up and preview stream. That's next week. Sometimes I watch wrestling. Last week, we did a tier maker. We did a bunch of tier maker lists. I should say we did several tier maker lists. That was a lot of fun. And tonight is Hearthstone night. The latest expansion, the current expansion that we're in right now is what is it? Perils in Paradise. That's the name of it. Perils in Paradise. And the mini set came out. If you were unaware what that means, every season of there's a new expansion comes out. There are new cards. And then a thing they've been doing for the last couple of years is towards the end of the season, a mini set comes out of just several cards here. And those cards become part of the packs that you can unlock or you can craft them. Or for 2,000 gold or the cash equivalent, you can just get the whole mini set. And you get all the legendaries that are in there and all the commons and rares and all that. And I always do that. So every season, I make sure I always have at least 2,000 gold for the next season. I always want to have 2,000 gold for the mini set, and then anything else either is buying packs of cards or buying packs of cards at the next expansion. So right now, I have 2,000 for the next mini set plus 100 for one pack for the next expansion. Because I don't buy the big bundle, which you can do. I have been free to play in Hearthstone for about 3 years now, maybe 4. Let's see. Well, I've been here now for 4. Yeah, 5 years. I was inaccurate in my original prediction there. It's been a long time. I have been free to play for 5 years. I have not bought packs of cards with money. I only buy packs of cards with gold that you earn for doing quests, dailies or weeklies or bonus. There's a new bonus next week. The Travel Master's Guide to Adventure starts next week, and there will be special extra things and extra rewards, and sometimes the rewards are packs. But yeah, why don't we go to the game window here? There's the game window. All right, there we go. Yep, we're here. Right now, that's the thing that's coming up. That's an event that's coming up. My quest tracker right now, I have completed my daily today. I have completed the weekly challenges. I often complete the weekly challenges by Wednesday, depending on what they are. And sometimes I'll complete them by, Monday, on Monday. And the currently rewards tracker, I did not pay for the tavern pass, so I don't get the extra cool shit. But right now I'm at the point where every time I level up there, I get 150 gold. There it is. Yeah, all the way to 100, and then it's just bonus gold every part that haven't reached 100, but I'm at 94. I'm on the way to 94, and I'm close to 94. And you get rewards. Now it's just gold because there is, along the way, if you pay extra, you get extra stuff. But I'm not going to pay for a tavern pass. I paid for one tavern pass. That's right. I was gifted one tavern pass, so I didn't even pay for it. But I've had a tavern pass once. That's what I meant to say. All right, so the plan for tonight is I will talk about a deck. I will then play the deck a couple times, and then we will move on to the next deck. My goal is to play all decks that I have not played before on stream. So tonight we will be looking at Big Warrior, which is a wild deck, another wild deck, Porcupine Egg, And then a wild deck called Terrible. This is Terrible Paladin. We were going to start with Terrible Paladin, and I'll explain it. And then we played Standard Big a lot, Big Paladin. And then we have Taunt Druid in Standard, which is a deck that I just started playing today. And I don't have a lot of data on it, but I know that it's pretty okay. It's ramp Druid, but the end goal is to just have a bunch of taunts and then play cards that bring back those taunts. And you just build a fucking taunt wall in Standard. And your opponent is bummed about that. That's the goal. But we're going to start with Terrible. Now, what's Terrible? Well, this deck is terrible. Here's the thing. It wants to do one thing. It has two ways of doing one thing. When it does that thing, you still might lose. So it's terrible. We have High Abyss Allura. Spellburst, which is while this minion is on the board, you play a spell. It will cast a spell from your deck. There's only 2 copies of one spell in our deck. Because we do have Rise to the Occasion. That's always in our hand. We want that in our hand because we always want to have one spell to activate High Abyss Allura. We don't need anything else other than High Abyss Allura. High Abyss Allura is going to pull Frontlines from our deck. Frontlines summons a minion from each player's deck. Repeat until either side of the battlefield is full. So we play Frontlines, and we are again, we did the miracle. We play Frontlines on turn 5 or turn 4 if we have a coin. And then we hope that early in our pulling minions, we pull a copy of the 2 that we have of Bayfin Bodybuilder. After a minion is summoned from your opponent during your turn, silence and destroy it. So if you have pulled that, every minion pulled out of your opponent's deck is destroyed. Their death rattles do not go off. They are killed. And it doesn't count as taking a spot up on the board, so you can keep drawing as it goes. And then you win because your opponent doesn't have any minions to play in their deck, and they will run out of cards to draw. They still have the minions on their board, and they still have the minions in their hand. Now, we have other things that we will tutor out that way, like Amethyst, which can make, which is, a taunt, but also can make all of the opponent's minions that are still on the board 2/2s. We have Cologram, which has Rush and pulls that minion so they don't get it back. We get it. We have Yogg-Saron, which can destroy their board. And we have Ziliax. In this case, we have Ziliax that has Poison, Reborn, Divine Shield, Taunt, Lifesteal, and Rush. Or we have set up for, that's right, we have it set up that it does the modules we have here. It has Elusive, Poison, and Reborn, and Divine Shield, Taunt, Lifesteal, Rush. Yeah, so it does all those things. So that we can wipe their board out. Now, there are many ways where this deck doesn't work at all. If our opponent has a full board, it doesn't work. If we have drawn both Bayfilled Bodyfillers, it doesn't work. If we fill our board and Bayfin comes out last, it will only kill one minion from our opponent, which is not what we want. We're going to kill their whole deck. Also, for this deck to work, you have to draw Allura, which is 1 card out of 30. There's a backup strategy, which is if you draw one or both front lines, you can just cheat out 10 mana by playing Nosdormu, which turns both you and your opponent have 10 mana. So you can play Nosdormu, and then the next turn, you can play front lines if you have it in your hand. If you don't have it in your hand, maybe you have like Lightfoot Cariel, and then you can kind of survive for a bit. Or you have your other top end, and you can play their other top end. Again, the reason why this is called terrible is because even when it works, which it rarely does, it doesn't do it. You don't necessarily win. It's not a one-turn kill. It's a maybe this'll work. So we're going to play Terrible. We're going to check out Terrible, and you can see for yourself why I called this deck Terrible. It is, when it works, it's very fun. But again, all right, so immediately, we're setting up here. We're going first, which is bad. We want to keep Rise to the Occasion in our hand. We have a front lines. We don't want that. Prisoner of Yogg-Saron is an okay card to try to stall. Basically, the rest of our deck can't be minions because we have a select number of minions. And it can't be... Oh, there's carry out. And it can't be spells because we need to play front lines either way. So all it has in there are weapons and one location. Our opponent could theoretically take a little while. They have 40 health, which isn't great. Okay, so we drew a Bayfin Bodybuilder, which is terrible. That's a terrible draw for us. We're going to play a volley maul. We have to keep this in our hand because we need it to activate Allura, which we aren't going to draw, but maybe we will draw Allura. We got a different weapon, which could theoretically buff up something, so we'll do that. And we're going to swing because we might as well be using our mana, or we're using our attacks. We can play this on turn 5 because then our opponent has to react to a 4/7, which is not good, but it's something. Okay. Our opponent will eventually be able to start playing minions. Eventually. All right, we got Prison of Yogg-Saron, which is something we can play. We'll just buff that a little bit, make it a 2/2. So now we're hoping we top deck Allura, because then we can play Allura on turn 5. All right, our opponent has played 1/5. They need to play 3 more. Okay, so now we're going to concede because we have drawn both Bayfin Bodybuilders. The only way we could win is if we play Bayfin Bodybuilder, and I mean we need Bayfin Bodybuilder to stay alive on board, and then we need to play Allura with a Bayfin already on the battlefield. It's not looking good. But we'll play it through a little bit until both Bayfin die. When both Bayfin die, then we'll concede. We probably should concede anyway, but we'll keep going because it's whatever. Because we just need to play front lines with a Bayfin on board. But our opponent will probably clear both Bayfins when we play them on their turns. I know I would. All right, they didn't clear this one. Yeah, they're going to go face. They should go face. That's what they should do. All right, we did not get what we need. We have to play the other one because this one is going to die. So we'll at least kill one of their... We're going to kill their minions, which is nice. And then we're going to play the other one. And we're going to hope that next turn we top deck Allura. Because that's all we can do is top deck Allura. So our opponent's going to have something that is going to get rid of our 4/7 or silence it at least, or turn it into a 0/1 with taunt. It's going to turn into a frog. No, okay. Going to destroy a Murloc. Okay, yeah. So we're going to concede. We didn't top deck it anyway. Again, must make it clear. This is a terrible deck. I would love to showcase it working, so you can go, oh yeah, Pat, that's bad. I will just stress, I did not have to craft anything to make this deck. I had every card in this deck already, so I didn't have to do anything to make this work. Because there have been other decks that use Allura that are fun as well. There is like an Anyfin variant of this deck that is fun. Okay. We are going... Normally we mulligan everything but the first card. We're going second. We got to get rid of front lines. We can't have that. And we got to get rid of... What we're going to give her that. We're going to keep Sphere because Sphere lets you look at your top card and decide if you want to have it or not, which is important for this deck. We have the 0 cost, so we don't need this spell, but we need to keep it in hand because it can't go back into our deck, because then Allura would play the spell 1 in 3 chance. Allura would play that, and we don't want that. So we will keep Sphere. Okay, Ziliax. I don't love that, but it's better than the alternative of another minion, other than the 1 or 2 that we would like. If we pull Nozdormu, we need to then pull... Okay, so great. Right off the bat, we save ourselves. We don't pull one of the cards we want in our deck still. What do we get instead? Cariel. We can't play Cariel, but it's nice to have Cariel there. Not feeling terrible about Cariel being there. We could switch to another weapon. I would prefer we didn't, because this is helpful to have. So we're going to keep this weapon. We don't want that. We want a new card. Okay, we're now just drawing minions that are not the minions we want to draw, but we're drawing minions. If our hand fills up, we could always just... let's play Rise to the Occasion. You know what? Let's just play it. We'll play it just so we use our mana and we have it there, and our opponent might think we're a different deck. Our opponent hasn't really done anything yet other than prepare for what I imagine is an OTK. I imagine our opponent... Okay. Yeah. I imagine our opponent is some sort of OTK, a one-turn kill deck. We don't want this again. Get out of here. What do we want? Well, give me... Okay. We're drawing every goddamn minion, which is annoying, but still not as bad as the alternative, which is drawing one of the 2 minions. Again, there are 2 minions that we would like. We're sticking around. I would like to pull this off once to show you what it's like, but I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. And again, we're getting a very incomplete version of it if we do that. Okay, so our opponent is doing things with their deck, which is cool. Good for them. They should be doing things and things. We're trying to do things and things. All right. Come on, Allura. That is not Allura. That is a weapon. Just do some damage to their face. This is not a card that we want. Do that. We're probably going to concede soon. Again, this deck's not doing what it needs to do. All right. Definitely don't want our opponent to fill up their board, since we won't be able to do anything here. And our opponent has been doing things with their deck, which we're not doing. Okay, we could get 10 mana. Do we have front lines in our hand? No. Would that make any sense for us to do? No. We're going to concede? Yes. We're just going to concede. One more. We'll play one more game of this deck. And then we will switch to a different deck. We'll switch to a different deck that is still within Wild. And we'll try that out. I still got some old favorite decks we can always go to. I have stopped playing standard big spell mage because everyone's playing it. And I don't love that deck. It was getting wins, and it's nice to get wins, but I wasn't having fun with it. All right, we're going first. We need Rise in our hand still. We're going to mulligan. We are hoping for Allura. We are hoping to get Allura in our hand. We did not get Allura. We got a front lines, and we got a Cariel. So now we can also be hoping for Nozdormu. So we can't play this in case we pull Allura. So now we are hoping for one of 2 cards. All right, our opponent is a mage. Okay, we pulled a Bayfin. We don't want to pull any more Bayfins. This is the last Bayfin that we want to pull. Giving our opponent 10 mana, a mage 10 mana, is wild, and I hope that we don't do it. We're going to do this. Just doing some damage here. But yeah, we are hoping to top deck Allura or Nozdormu, and we'll play Nozdormu if we top deck it at 4 mana. We will play, we will wait a turn to play Allura. We are hoping we don't pull the other bodybuilder, because that makes this not good. All right, we'll swing, and we'll build one big minion with our mana. It's good mana use here. We're still holding that. We're still hoping we top deck one of 2 cards. There's no way to build draw into this deck because there are no weapon. Paladin does not have a weapon that draws. Oh, great. Okay, that's lovely. That could be so many things that would screw us up. We could play bodybuilder. I think, you know what we'll do? We'll do this. When your hand has less than 3 cards, that's fine. We're going to play this. Okay. So this still, okay, it's, okay, great. It was Flame Ward. Okay. We had to try to figure out what that secret was, and we have figured it out. Because I didn't want it to be Counterspell, because that would really bum me the fuck out. We could at some point play this Bayfin just to give our opponent something that they have to deal with. Again, there are 2 cards that we would like to see, and we're hoping to see one of those 2. Our opponent has heal, which is fine. If they're wasting their mana on heal, that's totally okay. All right, let's get rid of a minion. Let's put this in here to give us better chances. You know what? Yeah, let's discover a different hero power. That sounds silly. Great, we can heal ourselves. All right. Yeah. Yeah, let's heal ourselves. We did it. I could have made a 1/1 and then healed myself. I wasn't thinking properly. All right, now they have Divine Shield. That's not the best, but it's not the worst. And now they have healed themselves. All right. That's fine. All right. We don't want Lightbringer's Hammer. We want one of 2 cards. Neither of those are what we want. We don't want to replace this. So let's do this. And then let's just get rid of you. Divine Shield. Let's play this so our opponent has to deal with it. Now, we could have waited till turn 8 and played this on turn 8. And then on turn 9 played Frontlines. But we're going to hopefully still have Bayfin Bodybuilder when we play Frontlines on 9. Which we are now somehow still alive on turn 9, and we'll just play it. This is the 3rd way to do this, which I didn't mention the first time because it's ridiculous to even mention it. All right. Okay, not great. We are going to lose this weapon, but it's okay because on turn 9 we can play Frontlines, and we just have to hope that out of the 19 cards in our deck, we don't top deck Bayfin, which would be a real bummer if we top deck Bayfin. So I'm hoping we don't. We can now survive for a very long time until we replace this weapon, which we won't. If we top deck Bayfin, we then, I don't know, I guess we play a Bayfin and hope it survives. I don't know what to do then. But we're going to do Frontlines at 9 mana, which is ridiculous that we've gotten this far. Okay, great. We pulled Disco Mall. All right, let's do the worst way to do this deck. But at least we played it. We played Frontlines. All right. As you can see, we are now killing all of their minions. We're killing all of their minions out of their deck. We're going to kill all their minions. Kill that too. Get out of here. There's a minion we didn't want to see. Get out of here. We'll kill that too. Do we want any of these? Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's take your 5/5. That sounds great. Let's make your minions cost 2. And then let's make your minions fight each other. And then, ooh, got an ice trap. That's fun. And we can't do that. And then we'll hit you for 2. Our deck did what it was supposed to do, everybody. Can we win? Probably not. We did kill all of the minions in our opponent's deck. And they now have, you know, just spells. And then also that costs too much. So they don't get to do that. But they can do that part. We're definitely not out of the woodwork here. Because our opponent has cheap spells, which is good. They should have cheap spells. Good on them. Oh, well, that sucks. They hate to lose that. Yeah, so all our opponent can do right now is just play spells and try to complete their quest line. So we can bump up our minions to give them more attack. Some of them are frozen. That's a shame. And do we do anything else? Hero power to make this bigger. Yeah, we'll hero power that. I don't want to lose our weapon. So now we're just going to do a bunch of damage. I don't want to do anything else. All right, they healed themselves. I knew they had one more of those, so that's fine. They healed themselves again, okay. But we got healed as well, so that's good. They've gotten some spells back. They're going to be able to complete. They had that in their hand. That's a bummer, but it's all right. Okay, that's only going to do 2 damage, so that's fine. And then they conceded. We won. We won with one of the worst decks. Oh, hell yeah, we won. Congratulations, me. I won with the deck I call terrible. That deck is stinky. We won with it. All right, let's move on to Big Warrior. Big Warrior is another cheat deck. Cheat out deck, I should say. You don't cheat in it, you cheat out. We've got a lot of big ass minions. Some of them have taunts, some of them have abilities. They're all big ass minions. Our cheapest minion is a 6 drop that shuffles horsemen in our deck. If all 4 horsemen die, you win. That is our later win condition because we have taunts, 4/8 taunts that pull a undead out of your deck and play them. So Behemoth, after the Rivendare warrior dies, Behemoth is cool. So we have cards that pull minions out of our deck, like Gather Your Party and Commencement. Those pull minions out of your deck. Also, if you then can play Yasharaj, you pull minions out of your deck. But there's also ways to pull minions out of your hand. Chemical Spill pulls them in your hand, you deal 5 damage to it. There's one card in my deck that sucks. If I pull out of my hand Yogg-Saron, it just dies, and that sucks. You don't want Yogg-Saron to be, the top card in your hand, the most expensive card in your hand. The other way is Food Fight. Food Fight, you summon 0/4 for your opponent, and when it dies, you summon a minion from your deck. So you can then use Bellowing Flames to kill that, or Brawl, or Garrison's Gift to get you Execute or Brawl. Shield block in there, and basically there's some early game to keep you alive, and then this is a mid game. So we're surviving hopefully until the mid game, and then we have a bunch of nonsense. Thunderbringer pulls minions from our deck. We have a bunch of elementals. We only have a couple beasts. Maybe this deck should have more beasts, but it doesn't really. I've had some success with Big Warrior. I think it is at the very least, Big Warrior is fun to play. The games are long, so if we'll probably not take. Well, we'll take some time with this, but we probably won't get a lot of games in with Big Warrior because they go long. Because you're not stalling, you're just trying to continuously build big boards. We don't mind if we have minions in our deck because of food or not because of chemical spill. So we're going to keep a chemical spill. But these are not the cards that I want with a chemical spill. So we're going to keep it, and we're going to hope to get something better than Rag. We got Food Fight. We got Commencement. We'll play Food Fight, even though we don't have a way to kill that 0/4, hoping that our opponent will give us one. And also Brawl. We can always play Brawl to stall, but also maybe unlock that. Oh, now we have Bellowing Flames. So we have Bellowing Flames, and we can use that to kill Food Fight. We're going to forge it so that it also does extra damage to our opponent's minions, because we expect our opponent to have minions. There you go. They got one there. So we know our turn 2, our turn 3, and our turn 4. And our turn 5 if we pull a minion. We can play it on 5. All right, our opponent is going to... I don't want to say our opponent's going to be annoying. Now we have a minion, and that being a 6/5 with taunt, that's totally okay. So we'll do that. We're going to play Food Fight on turn 3, and then we're going to play Bellowing Flames on turn 4. Hopefully, definitely killing Food Fight, and then hopefully doing some damage to our opponent. We are going to take a bunch of damage here because we are just doing turns where we're not gaining armor at all. But it'll be okay. And then we got a Monstrosity that hopefully we can play at some point. We have Commencement for later. We're already looking... Our deck is doing what it's supposed to do. If that will keep us alive is another story. But right now, we can't clear their board. And we can't really kill this, but we can do some damage. And we're also going to get ourselves something from our deck, which is great because we didn't want Rivendare out of our deck with Food Fight. So we killed that. And we'll do some damage there. Hell yeah. We got Yashiraj. We are now going to pull. There is like one card in our deck right now that I don't want to pull with this, and that is Yogg-Saron, because we won't be able to play Yogg-Saron's ability. We didn't get Yogg-Saron. We got Neptulon. So now our opponent has a lot. We have a lot of damage on our board, and our opponent has 4 mana to deal with it. Our deck is doing what it's supposed to do. On turn 4, we added for 24, 32 damage on our board. About. Not give or take. Less than that. But we added a ton of damage on our board on turn 4. And we can get a 6/7 with taunt as well. That does 3 damage to every enemy minion. So our deck is doing what it's supposed to do. This is more of a scam deck. This is a scam deck, not like a... we are scamming. Scam deck, not a scum deck. Okay. Okay, yeah. That is an answer. All right, yeah. That is an answer. We got Food Fight for later. We're not going to use Food Fight now. Let's give ourselves a 6/7 with taunt. We'll kill this thing. It's going to leave a 1/1, and we do not care about that 1/1. So we'll do 8 to face, and then 4, and then 4, and then 10. There was no way. We did not have lethal on that turn. This is what I did not want to pull out of our deck, because we don't get to do anything cool with Yogg-Saron here. But it does, our opponent's going to have trouble turning this around, is what I'm saying right now. Because our deck did what it was supposed to do. Our opponent is thinking. Come on, Charlie. If our opponent doesn't seem that they rage quit. If they had rage quit, I would understand. They are going to time us out. I understand. If they're going to run the rope and they just disconnected, they just they didn't quit the game, but they quit the state of the game, turned off their phone, whatever they're doing here. Stalling out, I totally understand. We are not going to waste time. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to put a food fight out there or anything like that. We're just going to hit them for 4 exactly. We'll use, yeah. We're not going to brawl. We're not going to do anything silly or fancy. We're just going to kill them in there. Would I have preferred they conceded? Yes, you concede. I think that's fine. But losing to Big Warrior, I understand the frustration of losing to Big Warrior. Because they probably thought that I was some kind of control warrior instead of big minion warrior. They were most likely not expecting that. So I get it. We won with that deck the first time. We're not going to move on just because we won. We'll play a couple games of this. I would actually honestly like you to see what happens when you have to literally wait till late game. Because we were able to cheat out a lot because we had the food fight combination. We had Chemical Spill. We had the Flames food fight combo, as I was saying there. Okay. None of these are cards we want in hand except for Shield Block, which can draw and give us 5 armor. That's way better than using our hero power for 2 armor. So we'll keep Shield Block. And none of this is good. I mean, obviously there are ways to cheat these out, and we're going against 40. We got Bellowing Flames. We could coin Shield Block. We're just going to wait and see what they're going to do, because at the very least, if they play something I have to kill, I can coin and do 5 damage to it. Doesn't look like they're going to be doing that, though, so that's good. Our opponent could be a deck that takes a lot of damage and then cheats out big minions with that damage, which would not be great, but we could deal with. We have a gather your party, I should say. So I'll wait and play that turn 5 with the coin. Okay, our opponent is now going to make our Chemical Spill now costs 6, which sucks. But we have the Bellowing Flame, and we're just going to hit you for 5 with that. So now we can either coin Chemical Spill for one of these two, or we can recruit. Fuck. All right, so our opponent is playing Disruption Warlock. They have a bunch of cards that just fuck around, which sucks. We have no turn here other than to give them a food fight, which we will. We're going to give them a food fight. We could coin and then hero power. We're not going to worry about that. Next turn, we're either going to pull something out of our deck or pull something out of our hands, and I haven't decided what. We're going to do neither. We're going to do neither because we literally can't do anything except hero power and make Forge better. So next turn, we can either pull a taunt, which I think is what we're going to do, or we can pull something from our deck, which I'm not trusting. Cards can't get lost in 2. Yeah, this is Disruption Warlock. If you thought that my deck was scummy, this deck is incredibly scummy. God, this sucks. All right, so now we can't coin anything. We could kill that and kill some things. I think I want to play one of my 2 taunts. Great. It's now a 6/7. It'll do 3 damage. It will help disrupt the board. We can then play Bellowing Flames at some point to kill this, to get something out of our deck. If we want to combine that with some things. Let's see what our opponent chooses to do with this turn. What other disruption can our opponent do to make our lives less fun? That's terrible. What are you doing? You don't dirty rat my deck. Come on. You gotta know that I have a big... I pulled a 6-12 out of my hand. You don't play dirty rat against me. That's... What are you doing? I got a 6-6 on board for free. That's going to pull a 6-12 out of my deck and one of my many, many elementals. That's just a silly, silly choice. All right, let's clear the board, and this is going to get us something out of our deck. Perfect. Great. Let's get weird with it. Let's... Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Gorgeous. We need to clear up some hand space here. We're taking a bunch of risks with this. Yep, we took a risk there. Okay. I'm not taking any more risks. Hell yeah. So our opponent basically gave up this game. They might have been able to disrupt us so much that we wouldn't be able to do anything, but by playing Dirty Rat, they really, really screwed up. They really, really messed this up for themselves. They did not have to take this L. Let's play it safe, I guess you could say. We'll do some damage here. We will take control of this 5/5. What are you going to do to me, Yogg? Okay, that's fine. Thanks, Yogg. Discover a spell. Great, Yogg. That's awesome. Deal 1 damage to all minions 3 times. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. That is a way to fuck me up. That definitely fucked up my board. All right, so that'll be 5 and then 3. I think we have to risk it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna grab a brawl. There is a chance that this lives and this lives. So we are taking a risk here. We are hoping that one of the 3/2s lives. And it did. Great. So that goes away. And we get a 6/9. Nice. This card is great for this deck. At the end of your turn, summon an elemental with stats equal to the minion. So we have another 6/9. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it costs 9 mana, but it is pretty fucking cool. And they got to kill it. Yeah, they got to kill that. We still have this, which also deals damage to our minions. So I'm like, that's not really what I want. But they're always going to have 3/2s. So I kind of don't mind that. Let's do that. Yeah, let's just do that. Kill that. And then what are we pulling out of our deck here? Another monstrosity. Great. Then what's this gonna do? Hell yeah. Ooh, hell yeah. Love to see it. We got another 6/9. Nice. We're running out of minions. No, we're not really running out of too many minions. We still have minions in our deck. We're kind of running out of things to do with our hand, but we have 2 10-drops. Our opponent is sticking with it because they have a bunch of other stuff. It seems like we've kind of... Okay, yeah, they're just going to fuck up their deck. Buy Neptulon. Buy Flesh Behemoth, that's okay. Buy Gather Your Party, that's a bummer. Buy Commencement, it's kind of a bummer. Buy other Commencement, kind of a bummer. Rivendare didn't die, which is great. Because if Rivendare died, then our backup would be gone. We can play this. Yeah, I think we're going to play this. Do a little damage to it. Play this just to see what's up. Okay. Now we got a 3/2 in the bottom of our deck. Kind of would have preferred to have that, but all right. Yeah, I think we're just gonna hold here. Do a ton of damage, heal ourselves up. Get another 6/9. Nice. Got a 7/2 with a 7/7 behind it. I still would like Rivendare just to have Rivendare. Because then we can put some cards back in our deck because we have 5 cards in our deck, one of which is a 3/2 imp. All right, our opponent is stealing one of our cards. Do you think they're going to take Colossus or Shield Block or Garrison's Gift? Oh, weird that our opponent took that. They took a card they couldn't play. It didn't really matter, though. So we won twice. And that time, our opponent messed with us, and we still won, which is fun. We'll do one more game with that, because we're actually winning with this deck, and that's nice. This expansion has been humbling. I played a deck, I deleted the deck. I don't have the deck anymore. I was playing Big Spell Mage in Standard, which is a scam deck. It's a scummy scam deck. We're going to keep these two because this combo works really well early game, and we don't need a Colossus. We'll maybe feel bad about that. Elk, I don't mind having Elk in our hand. Elk is really good with Chemical Spill. So we are going to get Flames ready and then use it with Food Fight. So we'll play this on 2, 3, and then 4. We might not have to flame if our opponent isn't playing minions, but I kind of don't mind it. We don't really need the health. I'd rather do other damage to our board because our opponent can still have minions on the board. So we'll forge this. And now we can do some damage if our opponent's building a deck, building something. But anyway, I was playing Big Spell Mage, which is a scummy deck. It doesn't feel good to win with that deck. But I was trying to get some wins. Okay, so we got Rivendare. So at least I know in turn 6 we got some options for things. We're going to play this. Our opponent could waste a card to pull this back into their hand to mess with us. They did not do that, which is great for us. It's excellent. I wonder exactly what our opponent is doing because we have they're discovering cards. They're playing cards for their classes. This might be on turn 4. They play the Cutlass. That might be what this deck is. I love when this card is. I would have loved to have pulled this out of my deck instead of having it in my hand. That's a shame. Anyway, let's do the thing our deck is supposed to do. Kill that. That also dies. Great. We got a 7/7 on turn 4. We played a 10-cost minion on turn 4. A 7/7 with a 7/7 behind it. Taunt on both. We have no turn 5 play, but we have a turn 6 play. We have 2 turn 6 plays. So we don't have anything to do next turn unless we top deck something good. Which I would hope is Chemical Spill. That would be what I would want, so we could play Elk. All right, our opponent is trying to get something that they can use to poison this or kill it or destroy it. I don't know if they're going to be able to find that, but they might. But they're going to have trouble consistently getting through our nonsense. All right, we got Shield Block. We'll play that. We'll get 5 armor. We got Brawl. Brawl isn't good now. Brawl could be good later. We'll have to decide next turn if we want to play Rivendare and put some stuff in our deck, or if we want to save that until we maybe also have a Flesh Behemoth behind it. So we'll probably play Gather Your Party because there's no bad card in our deck for Gather Your Party. There's no bad minion. All right, they destroyed one. We still have a 7/7. Our opponent has more concoctions than I would expect. All right, we got a Flesh Behemoth. So let's play Recruit a Minion. Great, we got an Epsilon. I bet this doesn't feel great for our opponent, as you can see. I bet that didn't feel great. Despite the fact that we have won 3 games in a row, I have to stress that this deck does not always do well. It just happened to do well now. I've lost like 6 games in a row with this deck before because my opponent just always had ways to just whoop my ass with it. All right, let's play Porcupine Egg. Great. Let's do this one. This one's fun. This is a fun deck that I do not mind losing with. Big Warrior is almost a good deck. This deck is fun. And that's important to me, is to have fun. So I didn't explain what this deck did. I was supposed to. I'm sorry. We're going to play a Porcupine. We're going to buff that Porcupine. Then we're going to trigger that Porcupine's Death Rattles. We are looking for a Mystery Egg. When the Mystery Egg dies, then we will be given various things. But yeah, we have a Porcupine. We are going to want to buff the hell out of it and trigger Death Rattles and just crush our opponent. We have various ways to find the things we need, including some of their Death Rattle spells. Right now we are hunting for Mystery Egg, and we found it. So we found Mystery Egg. We buffed Mystery Egg, which isn't the best, but we found it, which is what I needed. Turn 4, we're going to play Mystery Egg, and then we're going to hope that our opponent will kill Mystery Egg. That's good to have. Let's see. Give me other... Okay, that's good to have as well. We didn't want Mech Leaper, but whatever. We can always... Worst comes to worst, we can always, with 6 mana, play these 2 together and then trigger. But we really want is... we want this Mystery Egg to pull us free copies of... Okay, so this Mystery Egg. Get a copy of Random Beast in your deck, costs 4 less. We want to pull the Mecha Leaper out of our... when this dies, we want it to be a Mecha Leaper. If it isn't the Mecha Leaper, it'll be the Lion, which can then become either other Mecha Leapers or become other Mystery Eggs. Our opponent doesn't want this to die. It wants it to be frozen. I get that. I understand what you're doing here. Yep, and you're just going to ignite me in the face. Our opponent's game plan makes a lot of sense. Ours makes some sense. Okay. We can trigger a Death Rattle here. I think that's okay. Great. We can do that. We'll trigger that. We can also play free of these here. Let's do this. Okay, so now we have a free one of these and a free one of these. That's very good. Let's do this. We could have done that, but I didn't want too much stuff in my hands. Great, tracking. Excellent. Now we have a free one of these, and we have free one of these, so we can play this for a lot less mana, but we can play this together. We only have now one way to trigger Death Rattle because I was being greedy, but I think it's okay to be greedy because our opponent's just going to freeze stuff. But also our opponent eventually has to kill things. They can only freeze for so long. Okay. What are you gonna do? Gonna kill everything, gonna make my hand real big? It's okay if my hand gets real big. Yep, okay, my hand is real big. Ooh, that's good, that's good. Alright, what are you gonna give? Give me a Leaper. Give me a Leaper. You got me a Leaper. Okay, great. We only have one way to trigger something, so let's draw a card. Okay, we'll do this so we can go again. Yeah, we can do this so we can go again. All right, let's get wild with this. This is not lethal, but this is a ton of damage. And our opponent's like, I don't want any of this. Because when these die, they're also going to do a bunch of damage and buff. And our opponent was just like, actually, honestly, I don't want to do that. Which I totally understand. I think Porcupine is pretty fun. Sometimes you just don't draw the cards. We happen to draw them pretty well. Sometimes your eggs hatch and it's just more Porcupines. And it's never the Leaper, which is going to make it bigger. Or you just can't draw any of the goddamn Death Rattle or triggers. Or you're only drawing Yelling Yodeler. And your hand is just too expensive. It happens. All right. We're going to keep tracking. We're going to get rid of everything else because we need the egg. We did not get the egg. I don't mind having Porcupine in my hand. I don't love having Lion in my hand unless I also have egg in my hand. We need the egg. Tracking is now looking for the egg. Tracking's going to look for the egg. Tracker is going to look for the egg. This isn't going to pull the egg, so we don't want to play that yet. We'll play Stitch Tracker, so we can coin that out next turn. We need the egg. Gotta have that egg. If we pull this, we might pull the other Porcupine, which is fine. We might pull the other Lion, which isn't good. And we might pull one of the Mecha Leapers. So we don't want Scavenger. That's after our egg has done a bunch of egg shit. I'm not worried about our opponent right now. We're not going to react to this yet. We pulled Mecha Leaper, which I definitely didn't want to do. All right, Tracker, get me that egg. Mystery egg. Awesome. So turn 4, play the egg. Turn 5, play the Rush Lion with the miniature version of the egg. We don't have a turn 3 right now. We could play one of the Porcupines just to fucking have a Porcupine, but I don't really want to do that. But we probably have to do something because our opponent is getting fucking wild with it. So, because we can always pull the other Porcupine with this, or we might get a Porcupine. We are playing way too slow for our opponent. And we are going to lose because our opponent is making big minions. So we are unfortunately drawing too slowly here because we're about to play a mystery egg. We could play the Lion if this survives. I don't think it will. We could play the Lion into the Porcupine, but we're probably going to play a mystery egg and hope our opponent doesn't keep going face. I don't feel good about all this. All right. Our opponent has stalled out a little bit in order to make sure that Porcupine doesn't survive, which is great. And so that means we're playing the egg. Oh, Yodeler's there. That's all right. We're going to play the egg. And then next turn, we're going to play the mystery egg, the tiny mystery egg, the mini egg, and then the Lion. All right, that's not bad. You have to find those. Are you going to kill my egg? What if you killed my egg and you didn't go face and instead you killed my egg? Because you could kill my egg. Ah, boo. Kill my egg. They could have killed my egg and they didn't. All right, well. Mini egg. I could have just triggered its Death Rattle. We'll do this. And we'll kill the U there. And, okay, we got a free Porcupine, which is great. We do need a Porcupine. So now we have Porcupine, and we have Mecha Leaper, and we have some ways to trigger it. We want these to die and to give us free stuff, because we might have to go next turn. Because we got to fuck this goddamn thing. Okay. All right. So We'll put you in there. Kill this. 1, 2. We'll play this here. Kill you. Okay. Put that in there. We'll put that in there. Put you in here. Okay, and then trigger this twice. And the game paused. That's unfair. That's unfair of us. We won that game. We won that game on turn 6 with 12 health left. That's unfair. I feel bad about that one. Our draw just worked out good. Our opponent played a Colossus that they probably didn't need to play. And we won that game, and we should not have. I do feel a little bad about that one. Yeah, I do feel like that's a stolen victory there. But a win's a win, right, pal? All right. Let's see. One more egg game. I want to lose. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. We lost so many games trying to make the terrible deck. We spent so much time trying to make that deck do what it was supposed to do. That I don't mind getting wins with this deck, but what if we probably jump to standard and I can start losing there. All right, so we don't want any of this. I kind of don't mind having lion in our hand. We'll keep a lion. We need a mystery egg. Okay, we have 2 ways to get mystery egg. We don't love bird watching to get mystery egg because we would rather it not have a bunch of health on it, so it would die. We got a mystery egg. Hell yeah. So now bird watching can pull us a porcupine with extra health and attack. Okay, Yodeler's fine too. Give me porcupine. Great, we got porcupine. Now our porcupine is a 4/5, which is great. And then we will play Tracker on turn 3. And I'm not sure what we want with Tracker right now, other than put it on the board. Turn 4, turn 5. Okay, we got our Yodeler. That's fine. I kind of want... Do I want the other egg? Yeah, let's take the other egg. Fuck it. Our opponent hasn't really done anything yet. They will. Don't get me wrong. And we gotta fight through 40 health. So, okay, long game. I like this. This is a fun card. I generally don't play decks where this card makes sense. You get a 2-cost cheese that summons 3/1/1 costs in every turn. So you want to play this early, and then for 2 mana you can do some wild shit. I'm not mad at that. All right, turn 5. We can play these together if this dies. We probably shouldn't have pulled the other egg. I maybe got ahead of myself. But we do have ways to trigger death rattles, which is great. And we can kill that. If we have another way to play our 1 mana, we will play something other than egg, but yeah, we should do that. All right, so let's play this. All right, that's flare. That is good to have. We'll do this. I'll kill that and give us a free porcupine, which does mean that we can play our porcupine that costs money anytime we want to. Okay. Our opponent does have minions in their hand. They are now getting bigger. There you go. That's a minion that's bigger. That is a big minion. Okay. So we can play this, and we can trigger its death rattle, or we can play this, and we can draw. Great. Excellent. We'll end their turn there. Now we have a free here. We don't have any Mecha Leapers, but now these should pull either Mecha Leapers or another Porcupine. This can get us more eggs, or it can go on the Porcupine. I'm feeling pretty good about this. If either of these gives us a Leaper, we might just go in next turn. Okay. Our opponent, so all right, yeah, great, please, yes. Heal up a little bit, I don't mind that. Okay, Leaper and not Leaper. All right. Ooh, yeah, we're going to go in. We're going to go in. Here is our, this is free. This is, that's going to trigger it. We want to put this on first. We want to trigger this. We want to trigger this. And then we want to trigger this twice and we win. We probably didn't need that one cost play dead. We definitely didn't need that one cost play dead. Oh, boy. Wow, we really turned it. Hey, isn't it weird that when you start playing scam decks instead of terrible decks, you suddenly start winning games? Isn't that weird? How you can win games sometimes if you play decks that just do a bunch of bullshit fairly easily. Porcupine Egg is not a deck that I built. But boy, does it do some goddamn damage. All right, let's switch over to a deck that I did build myself based on an idea that I saw people do. This is a standard deck because Wild is full of bullshit, so why not play bullshit in standard? That's the idea. This deck wants to cheat out mana. It wants to cheat out mana so that you can then play big minions. Or you can play like Oaken Summons and pull some small minions that are big. This is a 4-cost minion that you choose to either discard 2 cards or destroy one of your mana crystals or forge it, and then you don't have to. But if you play Oaken Summons, you just pull it out of your deck. You want to play big taunts to cheat out mana so that you can resurrect big taunts. And then you can play Travel Master Dungar to pull out big taunts. Because all your deck is big taunts. Except for this, which is not a big taunt, but does a lot of damage. And Yogg-Saron, which just fucks shit up. Hydration Station and Travel Master are the things you want to do. Sleep Under the Stars helps you get refresh your mana so you can keep doing things. Or draw, or gain some armor. Crystal Cluster can help you build the board or just get more mana. New Heights gets you more mana. Trail Mix gets you more mana next turn, but just next turn. And this can get you a Wild Growth. Is this deck good? I don't know yet. Like I said, I started playing this deck today. So we'll switch over to Standard so that we don't... So standard just means this year in cards. The expansions of this year in cards, plus a core set that changes on occasion, but right now is set. So core, and then the newer cards. So you can't. Wild is any card that's ever come out that is not banned, because there are cards that get banned out of Wild or temporarily banned out of Wild because they just make the game not fun, and they got to change it up. We're playing a Druid. We could be playing a Druid doing the same thing that we're doing. We don't want this yet. We don't mind that. We don't want... We kind of maybe need this early. We're going to keep Oaken Summons because it's going to give us a 6/8 and just let us survive. I don't know exactly... We don't really want this, but we can... We probably shouldn't have kept the pendant because I don't really want minions this early. This will give us a wild growth, and then I have 2 to do it. Should I? Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's just get started. We'll have 3 mana next turn. So we can play this next turn. This is probably early to cheat out. Again, I've only played this deck for a day. I played it maybe 5 times. Dirty Rat. Awesome. Thank you for giving me Dirty Rat. You could have pulled this. Instead, you pulled a 6/8. That rules. That rules. We don't want any of... We'll take Thunderbringer. That was bad for us. That did not turn out great. But oh well. Our opponent's getting some dragons. So they are dragon... okay, so that's good later. This is going to give us another 6/8. And some armor. Our opponent is Ramp Dragon, probably. But I don't know why they have Dirty Rat in there. Dirty Rat is disruption, so I guess they're trying to disrupt us. But instead, I mean, it could have disrupted us with this. It also could have, later been Thunderbringer. It would have been a bummer if we had a 3/3 time drop, but yeah. So I will say, I don't know if we won that game, but our opponent lost that game. We can say that for sure, that our opponent lost. Our opponent, by playing Dirty Rat on turn 2 to disrupt us, instead gave us a 6/8 with taunt. And then on the next turn, we played a 6/8 with taunt. And give ourselves 6 armor. So we didn't help them, but they definitely hurt themselves. Maybe even more than we hurt them. Which is funny because we had no follow-up to that. So we want to keep New Heights, and we'll put those back in. This is going to give us ramp. I don't love having Yogg-Saron in our hand, but I don't hate it. That'll be good later. This is just a temporary card, so we don't want to play that. On turn, later, we can play this to Wild Growth to help ramp up even more, or we can use it to help clear the board if our opponent has a bunch of minions. Okay, they have some holy spells, and they're going to... That's fine. I don't love drawing that, but I don't hate drawing that because it definitely would have been better to pull that with Oaken Summons. Again, we don't really have anything here. We're just going to get rid of that. We can kill it next turn, maybe. Although we're definitely going to be playing this next turn. And then on turn 4, we'll probably play this and swipe to clear up their board. Although we'll have 5 mana, so maybe we don't want to do that. I don't know. We are playing this, though. We got some big minions, and we're slowly ramping up to the big minions. So that's nice. I don't love that. So our opponent is splashing Rogue. We can play this and clear the board. I don't hate doing that. And then we just hero power. We can play this. And then that's 1 mana. Because, is the board that dangerous? So, yeah, let's do this. Let's just ramp. We're ramping. And then we're killing that. We're not stressed right now. I'd rather just put down a 6/10 or 4/10, I should say, or draw some cards. I don't love that. I don't love that. Maybe I just want to put down a 4/10. We'll see what we top deck. What do we top deck? Oh, okay. Next turn. I don't care about next turn yet. Look, if I play this, then I will have 10 mana, so I could play this, but I don't care about that yet. I can refresh twice to give me 6 mana. Is that going to do anything? No. I'm just going to play a 4/10. It's a 4/10. That feels pretty okay. We can get fancy next turn. Maybe play Yogg. With if we get some help, if we get an Invigorate. I don't know. Swipe we could always use if we have to. Trail Mix we definitely could put in. Okay, they've got the Divine Shield thing. Yeah, that makes sense. What's you going to do? Okay, Lifesteal. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. We should probably swipe. We could also draw and give our mana back so we can do more stuff. We could just get 15 armor for 7. Okay. I mean, I don't hate that. But that's a next turn. If I played Trail Mix, I would have 9 mana. Can I? Yeah, I can only refresh here. That's not going to get me there. Let's draw 2 cards. See what I'm getting with these 2 cards. Ziliax and Invigorate. All right. Let's refresh that. That's going to give us to 4. Or refresh again. That's going to give us to 7. And then I have 8 mana. That doesn't matter. Let's gain 5 armor. And let's... Okay, yeah, that's all I want to do there. We'll hit that. Clear up the board a bit. Do some damage. Do this. Gain 2 mana next turn. Great. Next turn, we're going to get wild with it. We're going to pull this. Well, we'll have 11, so we can play this, refresh, and then play this. So we can get big with it. We can also play this. We can play these 2 together. I don't hate that either, but I'd rather pull some big minions from our deck and get weird with it, because that's what this deck is supposed to do. It's supposed to get weird with it. We weren't supposed to win with 6/8s like we did last time. All right. Our opponent's getting a little weird with it. They're going to do a bunch of damage to us, so we kind of do need to do something here. But we are going to do something, which is we're going to build a... Oh, I would have loved to pull Thunderbringer. That's a shame. All right, well, first we're going to play this. And then next turn, we'll restore our hero to full health. But we're going to refresh our mana first, because that's more fun. Give us a 5/5 taunt. And then we're going to pull 3 minions from our deck. It did a whole bunch of shit. And then this one's going to pull a 6/6 that's going to taunt. We got a 4/20 taunt, a 6/8 taunt, a 5/5 taunt. And that's dead. Hell yeah. We're also next turn going to heal up to full. Oh, fuck you. I mean, I've done the same thing. I would do the same thing. Damn. We're not gonna heal to full. They've got enough in them to kill this too. Yeah. We are not healing to full next turn. Okay. That will be fun to play at some point. We can have our opponent kill everything. We can... let's steal it. Yep, let's steal it. This is way more fun. This is so much more fun. Take this. And then we're going to... Oh, yeah, we do that. That's good. What other spell are you going to do? Oh, we drew. Okay. Hell yeah. Oh, perfect. We got some healing. Yogg. When you use Yogg's abilities, it does dumb things. And Yogg's abilities that time were very good for us. Let's buff our friends here. We're going to buff our minions so that can die. And then this can die. And this can die. And then you take a 6 to the face. That was very fun. Stealing their Amethyst is very fun to me. That makes me happy. Oh, but it brought it back. They got a different one. Now you're going to make all mine 2/2s? Going to make all 2/2s, are you? I don't got any way to fix that. Yep, you did make them all 2/2s. God damn. Oh, then you have a way to kill it? You killed my kill? Boo. Hiss. Boo. I'm gonna play this and kill this thing real fast. Splashing for rogues so that you can play that again is kind of fucking rad. That's some rad shit right there. That's real good. So that dies. Get that shit out of my store. Can I have these attack each other? I kind of don't. Let's get rid of everything first. Oof, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I can play its ability. Fill my hands with 1/1s. You know what? I don't want to. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just keep everything okay, because Yogg was so good to us the last time we did it that I'm kind of scared of what Yogg would do this time. Ooh, we're gonna get a shittier version of an amulet. This is a fun card. Our opponent is playing a fun deck. Yeah, this is 6 damage that I think does lifesteal. And ours just does 6 damage, which is fine. I'm probably going to play this because I am going to take a quote-unquote off turn because I want to get myself more mana. Gain 3 empty mana crystals. Any that can't fit. Summon a 3/7, yeah. All right, that died. I kind of don't mind, Yogg. Yogg did some work. Yogg did a bunch of business, so... All right, yeah. Sure, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah, whatever you want to do. Yeah, we'll take a little bit of a quote-unquote off turn here. We're going to get this, which will give us swipe, which isn't going to do enough, but it's going to remove that stuff. And then we'll kill that. We'll give ourselves more mana next turn. And, yeah. Looking okay. A bunch more mana. We can play this to draw some stuff. We can play this. We can play Thunderbringer. We're gonna have a bunch of mana next turn. We're gonna have 14 mana next turn. Yeah, we can get a little while with it. If I had a way to discount this, it would be incredible. All right. Okay. Yep. I knew you had that. Okay. 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 We still win? No, you go twice. Okay. So we don't win here. But we can armor up 3 times. Okay. You should maybe give yourself Divine Shield? Okay. You don't have to. First, let's just give ourselves 15 armor. And then give ourselves a bunch more armor. And a 3/7 with taunt. Was there maybe a better way to do that? Should we have figured out a way to play Thunderbringer? Should we try to discover Factory Assemble Bot? Baby. Really, Hydration Station is actually the card I would like to get. So maybe we should have drawn, but I think 15 armor was totally the way to go there. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, we had that one. That one felt good. That's a bit more of what this deck is supposed to do. Which is cheat out mana, play big things. We didn't even play Hydration Station, which would have put a bunch of taunts back on the board. We'll do it one more time. Then we might go classic scams. We might play some classic scams in Wild. Maybe go back and try to do terrible deck and see if we can get an actual win, like a proper win with it. Probably not though. Oh wow, this person paid a lot of money for Ragnaros the Fire Lord. I don't remember how much this costs, but it's a lot of money, and it's only in-game money. We don't want any of this. I mean, we want this at some point, but we want a ramp, so we don't want any of this. All we know about our opponent is they spend a lot of money. They will spend a lot of money. Okay, Oaken Summons is fine. New Heights is great. We'll play that on turn 2 with a coin. That's kind of okay to have. We don't have a turn 1. Oaken Summons, again, I think that'll be fine. I don't love that, but I would rather start ramping. I don't love drawing that because now there's only now there's a chance we might pull it next turn and not be able to play this next turn. And that'll be a 4-cost gain 6 armor, which is okay, but not what we want to do. We could destroy a mana crystal, but we worked hard to get that mana crystal, so I don't want to do that. Our opponent is getting armor and drawing, which we don't love. All right, we'll play this. We can also get armor, and we can also pull a minion from our deck. Now we have a 6/8 on the board. If we can't ramp, I might swipe just to get rid of this thing. I don't love that, but I might do it. We could swipe and then forge this so that next turn we can do it and just make it a 6/8 without having to discard, which we definitely don't want to do, or lose a mana crystal, which we don't want to do. Okay, going wide. All right, yeah. This will just also get us that. This will be good for later. Let's forge this. And let's, well, yeah, let's just do that. Not clean, but none of that is clean. But also, we still have a 6/8, and we have 36 health. They have 35 health, but, you know, we still got 6/8. Next turn, we can play this and Wild Growth to ramp more. That's going to be 3 mana. Out of our 6, we could play this. I don't know. I don't love that. We got an overload card. I haven't played around with this set. I don't know if it does anything cool or if I can do anything cool with it. Okay, I like that. That's fun. Make a big board later. Ooh, okay. Well, now I know what we're doing with our mana. We are increasing the maximum of our mana, getting an empty crystal, and we are increasing our mana. We now, well, next turn, we can play Yogg. And we'll do damage. So next turn we're probably playing Yogg and either stealing something from our opponent or making our opponent clear their own board, and we can clean up after. Okay. All right, our opponent can get through our 6/5. Oh, they're not going to take... Yeah, take the damage. Yeah, take the damage. Take the 6 damage. Great. So we don't want to steal anything here. I wouldn't mind clearing the board. We could also do this, which doesn't feel great. I think it's better to... Do you want to steal a 0-2? I definitely don't want to steal a 0-2. Let's just steal a 3-3. That's fine. And what else are you going to do to me? Yogg. Deal 6 damage to the 3-3. Okay. Okay. Well, we didn't get a 3-3. Maybe we should have taken the taunt. Mostly I just wanted to have Yogg out there because I think it's fun to have Yogg out there. We can play this and then refresh our mana if we want to do other things. Like we can play this and then one of these. We can play this and something else. We're probably going to start with Lifebinder. We can fill our hand with the Tentacle Swarm and play a bunch of tendrils. We could do that. Ooh, step. God, this thing over time can be bad. Let's do the force. Let's just force each other. Let's just clear the board up some. Get through everything. And then, okay. Okay. That wasn't great. Let's do this. Let's refresh our mana crystals. Now we're going to play that and play this. Great. We've got these for refreshing mana crystals, gaining armor, drawing. We can heal back up. Wait, what was the other one? Draw cards until your hand is full. We can just... Oh, I forgot. I forgot the third ability here. I never get to that one. I'm always focused on healing myself, or by Yogg. Healing myself, or are you gonna take the 5 to kill that? Our opponent had a good answer. We didn't get to do the other thing. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Now our opponent has a board. That's fun. Okay. None of it is great, but they did get a board. All right. So let's refresh 3 mana crystals, so we know we can play this because that's cool. Let's draw 2 cards because that would be nice. We pulled that. We pulled that. I didn't love that one. And let's gain 5 armor. Let's do it again. Let's refresh mana crystals. Let's draw 2 cards. Okay. Let's refresh mana crystals. Great. That was a silly turn. We did a silly thing. Now we have this to, you gain 3 empty mana crystals. Any that can't fit, summon a 3/7 elemental taunt. Okay. I was not expecting that. I'll be honest with you. Was not expecting our cool taunt minion to go down like that. Was not expecting them to play that bird. This is like the second time I've seen this bird get played. So yeah, was not expecting the bird. And they're going to get ourselves a taunt. All right. Gain 2 mana next turn. All right, we got 15 mana to play with. We'll play this and this and this and this. Our opponent now has a bunch of bullshit to deal with, and we will have 17 mana next turn. Or maybe 18? At least 17. If we with 17, we can play both of these things. Or we play this and the smaller version. Crystal we can play these two together. I kind of don't want to play the 410. I would like to pull Hydration Station or Travel Master Dungar. I would like to play either of those cards. So far, yeah. Oh, with Titan. Okay, you're going to do 3 damage to all that. Our opponent's deck is fun. If we lose this deck, I don't mind it because it's fun. I don't mind losing to a fun deck. They did spend a lot of goddamn fucking money, and I don't love that. But they are playing a very fun deck. Oh, they got the Growlithe as well. That's fun. Okay. So we have 18 mana to work with. We really only have 16. We get 2 more. So we can play that. We can play this. And then we can play... I think we should just do that. Our opponent can kill this in one shot, but it still has to deal with a lot we're putting on the board here. I was kind of hoping that they would both hit this, but it was unlikely. This can do 10 damage to that real easy. And get rid of either of these. Oh, well, now it's not as fun. Our opponent has Lone Ranger. That's not as fun. We can only play 1 minion next turn. This is now not as fun. You're going to draw? You're going to draw some Overlord cards. And you got an Overload card. Okay. That's not as fun. Right now, we can only play 1 minion. And so we are now looking for Taunt Minion, which is that. We're going to play the Taunt Minion. We healed up. We're going to play the Taunt. I could play this and this, but it's not going to summon the 6/7. So it's only going to give me 3 empty mana crystals. But that's fine. We'll take the 3 empty mana crystals. We got so much mana. Oh, don't steal it from me. Come on. Kill it. Don't steal it. See, our opponent has a fun deck, but that's not fun. Okay, what are you intercepting? Okay. That's not fun. Stealing my 6/5, or which was a 6/6. That's not fun. Hydration Station is fun. For me. Not for you. Alright, if I kill that, it's going to do a bunch of bullshit. But we gotta kill it. Get out of here. What'd you pull out? That's not great. And then of your turn, you... Well, it didn't put in any interruptions on our deck, so that's actually pretty okay. I want you to trade to play your 8/8 with 8/8 Rush minion. Get through our board. We have a couple top decks that would be fun. We have a couple top decks that would not. This is not fun. The 210 is actually pretty good for us because it didn't put eruptions on our deck, so it's not making them bigger. Now it's going to be a 6/7 with taunt. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we have a couple cards in our hand. Hydration Station and Dungar would be good. Pendant of Earth will be fine because we get them. Okay. We only have 1 minion in our deck, so actually Dungar is not fine. It's giving us a 4/20. Which our opponent can just use this to get rid through. So we are going to concede because they can just do 20 damage to that and remove it from the board. So we lost. We did lose. As I said, our opponent had a lot of fun cards in their deck, but Reno isn't fun. That's not a fun card. Making it so your opponent's board is gone, and if you had a quote-unquote bad deck by having it be a singleton deck or a Highlander deck, depending on what you want to call, because there can only be one, By having that means that they can only play one minion in their next turn. I think that's... I don't like it. I don't like it. But we'll end that there. We've got some time for at least one more game to get in here. Y'all have been very quiet, and I don't mind that, because hopefully you're having fun while I'm having fun. We won a lot tonight once I stopped playing terrible, and then we just lost there. But once I stopped playing this terrible deck, our luck changed. So let's at least, again, this might be... Aristovan, appreciate you still being here. As I said, if people want to lurk, I don't just say that because I like talking. I do like talking. I say that if people want to lurk, they can lurk because I believe it. Because I lurk a lot. It is okay to be a lurker. I lurk quite a bit. All right, we're going to pull these back. If you weren't here when I played this deck at the beginning of the stream, I am searching for basically one card and then another card duo as a backup. But I really want to pull Allura. I'm not going to play this in turn one. We're going to nothing here. We got nothing. My deck is full of weapons and so some select minions and then front lines. This deck wants to play High Abyss Allura, and then on turn 5 with the one spell to then pull front lines. You can't play minions that you don't want to play. You can't play spells, so you only can fill your hand with garbage here. Okay, so this can't tech heroes, but they can heal us. This, at the very least, can eventually buff a recruit, so we'll keep that. We can play this, which we don't have any minions in our hand to buff yet, but we can play that. This gives us some lifesteal, which at very least can keep us alive while we search for the cards that we want to draw. And overall, we don't want to draw Bayfin Bodybuilder, and we don't want to draw both front lines. But if we draw Nozdormu and one front lines, that'll be okay. Okay. So we'll play this. We'll kill this. We'll do that. And then the hope is that next turn, we can play something else. Maybe we'll play Hammer just to kind of heal us up, or Painter's Virtue to heal us up. We'll play that. Okay. Our opponent isn't doing much, which is kind of nice. They start doing more things, it'll be tougher for us. That's doing some more things. Yogg is not what we want, but I don't mind not having Yogg in the pool, in the deck. Yeah, let's do this. We'll do this. Yeah, we're hoping we top deck Allura or Nozdormu, and then also have front lines. If we get Sphere of Sapience, that will help us. That is definitely a weapon that we will equip. If we top deck a Bayfin, we could play a Bayfin just to have a minion on the board our opponent has to deal with. Oh god, they have secrets too, huh? That's awesome. Well, that has to die. I mean, that has to die. Cannot have secrets. More secrets than the one they just drew. Cannot allow that. Let's do this, because we'll get more lifesteal in. We can swing next turn. At this point, I would take a front lines, because we're so close to 9 mana anyway. We maybe can survive the turn 9. We'll heal up a little bit. We're going to make our Yogg-Saron bigger. The real problem is, well, the 6/6 doesn't help. But I was about to say, the real problem is that this, one of these two, could be that like just wrecks a minion that we were going to play or a spell that we want to play. There's so many ways for this to turn bad for us that it's not necessarily worth us to continue to play this hand out. I kind of we'll swing face. Okay, that's one thing. All right, yeah, barrier is fine. I'll take barrier. We're gonna take 6 damage. Let's heal up to full. I got nothing. I guess I could play this next turn in case we have a front lines to play turn 9, just to find out if it's counterspell. Because if it's objection, we don't have a minion to play just to find out that it's objection. Yeah, take 6. You should. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to do what the deck is supposed to do. We'll do both these things. We'll concede if this is counterspell or objection. Or I guess the one that does 6 to the minion. Was it? It was Mirror Entity. Okay, great. Mirror Entity's fine. I don't like having this many minions on the board. But we're going to do it. Can I kill with 3? Can I kill any of the minions on this board? I can. So we'll do that. We'll get a minion off the board. And then we'll do this. Okay. Front lines is on. Yes, this is what we wanted. This means we can kill everything in their goddamn deck until we fill up our side of the board. And then we can also get rid of other things. We want this. You go away. All right, we did it, everybody. This being the first out meant that we did the thing we were supposed to do. If this came out late, if all these other came out late, it would have been bad. Okay, now our opponent has a bunch of goddamn secrets. We don't love that. I'll tell you that right there. I didn't use the effect here. I should have used the effect. I didn't. That's on me. I should have used this effect, which would have... we can't use the effect because it's frozen. That would have buffed our minions. That would have been nice. Okay. Now what are you going to do? Okay, you get a 4-8. But it dies. Fuck off. That does... You don't get a 4-8. Eat shit. Kill that. And then... let's give ourselves... We'll do that. And... Okay. Counterspell. Fine with that being counterspell. That seems totally okay. We'll end our turn there. And those go away. That was worth the risk to me. That wasn't that big of a risk if that was counterspell. That's fine with me. Okay. Our opponent is sticking with this. We won! Our deck did what it was supposed to do. Our terrible deck did what it was supposed to do. And we won the game. God, that deck sucks. I like playing it. It's terrible, but I do like it. And that's Hearthstone. Yeah, that's a night of Hearthstone. We leveled up, or we moved up the ladder in both standard and wild. Played some real silly shit in a way that I don't hate. I have a type, yes. I mean, I like scam decks that have a decent chance of blowing up in your face. That one is too difficult to do, but I like Big Warrior, where you have to make it to mid game to play your big stuff. I like the that nonsense deck we're playing, the ramp taunt. I like that. I don't know. Those are the kind of decks that I like playing. high risk, high reward. Yeah, those are the kind of decks that I enjoy. I also enjoy, fun transition, raiding. At the end of every stream, we go on a raid. We're going to go find someone doing cool shit out there and go hang out with them. That is my promise to you. And then while I figure this out, who's out here doing stuff? Let's see. How long has... how long have you been playing? How long have you been going, my friend? Oh no, we're not doing that. We're not raiding my friend there. Who are we raiding? I don't even know. We're going to go hang out with Liz, who is playing some PC 88 games and trying to get achievements in those games. So I assume retro achievements. Liz rules. You have a great time in Liz's stream. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. This is what I want to do. I want to hit this and then raid and then Liz's name. There we go. I did the thing. Thanks everybody so much for joining me tonight. I hope you come back on Thursday. I will be finishing up a Lego set that I started on Monday, and then I'll be starting something new. What's the new thing, Pat? I don't know yet. My $3, $5, and $10 patrons, my $10 patrons, just my $10 patrons are going to vote tomorrow when I send out a poll tomorrow to figure out what I'm going to build after that. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you had a good time on the old stream, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.